Hi all, welcome to this Chelsea predictions video. This should be quite an interesting one for a number of reasons, the main being with a number of their transfers coming in, what ratings will they be, but also with a number of their younger talents, what kind of upgrades could they see. But this definitely will be, I would say, interesting regardless. So smash the links, be awesome, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter, G is a legend, all links down below, follow us on the channel and social media links as always. Comment down below your thoughts for the Chelsea predictions, let me know if I've kind of got them nailed on and so forth. But yeah, this is going to be a tricky one, but we'll try and give it our best shot regardless. Starting off with the Spanish duo of Kepa and Azpilicueta. Kepa we're keeping the same. I feel like he should stay as he is. I don't really see anything that justifies downgrading, but at the same time I don't see anything that justifies an upgrade. But yeah, so that would be my kind of reasoning towards it. And Azpilicueta seems to be playing more as a centre back, so I felt that him, what I see, he might get position change back to that, but there's no guarantee. He may be kept as a right back still, but time will tell, of course. Kurt Zuma is possibly in line for an upgrade, going by how he's played this season. It's not a guarantee obviously, but I went +1 for him. Nothing really else kind of shouts out about it, but I'd imagine +1 seems about fair. But as I said, it's just my kind of thoughts about it, just going from what I've read from his stats. Rudiger down 1 on return. He may stay the same, actually, saying that, but if I was to, like, what I generally do with some of these players, like, just put the defending physical down 1, like, generally that's what I would try and do. I don't really see much adjustment from in Kante I've kept the same, mainly on the basis of all the special cards he's had, like the team of the year and whatnot. And I feel like even though he's not been playing as much since like the lockdown, I feel he's still one of the best centre defensive mids in the world, and like 89 rating seems fair. I don't feel he deserves a downgrade, I don't feel he deserves an upgrade, and 89 seems fair on him. Jorginho up 1 to an 84 seems pretty reasonable. He may even go 85, but he's one of these players that's just could potentially just have high passing, and that could be about it. That's kind of like his end game card. Like, you would almost need like for him to be kind of remotely usable, it would have to be like a team of the year with like insane pace kind of to help him out. But Jorginho, as I said, +1, even at most +2, but that's kind of where I would go with him. Ziyech I'm putting up to an 87. Had a very impressive season at Ajax yet again, and I feel he obviously was 85, but I feel he's going to be at least +1, maybe even +2. But you've got to try and make the card look as appealing and usable as possible. But at least an 86 I feel, if I'm brutally honest. Kovacic up to an 84. Definitely looking pretty well rounded. I think if anything his defending may even go into say 70. Obviously he got a team of the season, which helps his cause immensely. The biggest one obviously, which will probably go under a lot of scrutiny from people, will be Pulisic, but a lot of it stems from his post-lockdown performance. Obviously he was very, very impressive for Chelsea after lockdown. Yes, his base card is 79 and he got an inform put him to an 82. I still feel though that he is worthy of a significant upgrade, maybe 82, 83. But as I said, it's just kind of obviously opinion, but when you're kind of factoring in the stats, especially his post-lockdown form was kind of a big factor for Chelsea. That's where I'm kind of seeing the reasoning toward. But I would imagine, as I say, minimum +2, most likely possibly +3, +4, as if you're being adventurous. Werner to an 87, going up 1. He even may go up to an 88, maybe even 89. I've maybe been a bit harsh for only giving him +1 because obviously the season he had for Leipzig, but at the same time you've got to factor in all the variables from like league stats and all that kind of stuff. But at least +1 I'd say +2 or +3 would definitely not be out of the equation for him. Giroud would have just kept the same, if anything probably a downgrade of like 1, but I was on like, he's one of these impact players for Chelsea these days, and he just does a lot of the hard work sometimes for teams, especially for like France and so forth. He may not bring as many goals as he used to, but he still does a lot of the hard work that's kind of required. Caballero obviously doesn't play that much, but you got a decent amount of game time at times when with Kepa's situation. I've just kept him as he is. Same for Christensen, just kept him as they were. Didn't really see anything that justified an upgrade or a downgrade. Reece James we've now put to a gold. Seemed very logical. Obviously 73 rated, we've just put him up 3 to a 76. Whether that happens or not is a different matter, but I felt that kind of seemed fair on him. Then Tamori we have put up +2 to a 79, and definitely looking even more usable, so certainly a card going by the way that he's been playing for Chelsea this season. That's kind of why I obviously got quite a good upgrade earlier in the year to help his cause. Alonso I've just kept the same. He's nothing fancy about him, nothing great or spectacular, so I just thought keep him as he was and go from there. Emerson kind of same kind of schematics really. Didn't really see anything that kind of made me feel that Emerson deserved an upgrade or a downgrade. Loftus-Cheek we kept the same despite all his injuries and so forth. I thought I was on like the cusp, do I downgrade him, do I upgrade him? So I just kind of left him as he was. Then Barkley I've obviously gave an upgrade to as well, just of +1, seemed fair, but nothing else really for him. And then obviously Charlie Gilmore I've kind of given a significant upgrade, kind of based around his man of the match that he had. Seemed quite fair. Like he may go a slight rating lower, but I thought like 70-72 seems about logical for him because he's had quite a good season in the Premier League for Chelsea for what he's been able to play. Then you've also got Michy Batshuayi I've downgraded 2. Seemed pretty reasonable to kind of justify and implement. Hudson-Odoi we've put up 2 to a 76 gold. He may or may not happen obviously, but it's trying to obviously give fair like upgrades around the board. Tammy Abraham we've upgraded +4 to an 80. He seemed worthy of it just due to the amount of goals he scored. Obviously he may find game time a bit limiting this season, but obviously time will tell for him at Chelsea. Then other players to factor in are like Van Ginkel and obviously Mason Mount. Van Ginkel seemed to have signed like an extension to his contract, and I was like, really fair play to the guy. Obviously Mason Mount I didn't include in this squad initially, but I gave him I feel like if he was to happen he would probably be like 81 rated, but for me he's like 80 or 81. Like could obviously got a decent upgrade to 79, and he's had a few special cards this FIFA to help his cause, but 80, 81 seems most logical to kind of give him. And realistically then it's like try to remember like the loanees like Kennedy and like players that may have still been back, that may have been brought back into the team. It's like trying to remember like players that were part of the team, like any of the bronzes or silvers that are like youth talents if they're still within the club, or like any loanees that were part of the club that are kind of like out on loan. It's trying to remember who's actually part of the team or not. But as I said, Chelsea's one of these trickier ones because we've got so many players here, there and everywhere, but I'm hopefully on the right kind of ballpark with these. But as I say, it's just a bit of fun and just to pass a bit of time as well, so let me know in the comments down below if I've got these kind of like Chelsea ratings kind of like on point, or if I'm missing certain players ratings or stats. Would be appreciated. So as I said, comment them below on that would be awesome. So sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Take easy all. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later for the next one.